Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be having a little backyard garden update, and just to kind of show you how things have been progressing and whatnot, because, well, I suppose a lot has changed since last time. And, where to begin? Oh fuck, where to begin? Well, I suppose over here. So we did add a little bit of soil into this bed, and we have beans, tomatoes. That may be a wild peach there, next to a palm tree. And over here we have Tamarillo. Now, unfortunately, don't have any fruit because the wind is a bitch. But we at least do have what appears to be the first stages of fruiting, which is very cool. This Tamarillo hasn't quite reached that stage just yet, but that's fine. No problem. Oh wait, hang on. Cancel my last. So we also have a nice crop of this lovely grass coming up. I quite like this stuff. It's pretty cool. With this, what I'm going to be doing is using it kind of as a mulch crop kind of thing, and just sort of reinforcing what's going on over there. Now, over there I've been trying to slow water down over the course of the last couple of years. About a year, give or take. And it seems to be doing quite a lot of difference, actually, because the grass is still alive and slowly but surely recovering and spreading downward. I want to close this gap over here. Anywho, moving on. Beans. These bean plants are looking pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Quite happy with that. We'll probably have to come in here and give it a bit of a weed at some point soon. Over here we have a sunflower, because I've also planted a bunch of different things in here, so yeah, there's a bit of a variety happening. Speaking of which, corn. And corn, unfortunately, in this place, it grows very well, but it's not been successful because we have pests. Excuse me. Squirrels, something like that. Little fuckers. Mulberry. More beans. Over here we have some Wandering Dew, which I'm using as a cover crop. It's going to expand and propagate out. Sorry, this stuff. It's going to expand and propagate out, and eventually will cover up pretty much what's going on here, which would be very cool. Pumpkin or gem squash. We're not 100% sure. Okay, so now we're just going to have a little comment on this area over here. So what I've been trying to do is slow water that flows in this sort of direction toward this tiny slope. There we go, you can sort of see that. There's a little bump there, bit of a bump there, a bump here. That's a problem. This is the area that I need to try and fill in. So at some point or another, I usually don't do this, but I'm going to buy some soil and just level this just a little bit so we get some nice slow flowing water action over here. And I think that will really benefit the grass that I've propagated over here that's coming out these areas, these sort of protected areas. But this stuff over here, I'm very pleased to say, has survived some of the worst of the sun this southern hemisphere's summer. Right, moving on. Marigolds. Very cool. Marigolds are awesome. And inside here we have some dahlias, I think they're called. Dahlias or dahlias, something like that. Very cool. Awesome plants when they actually flower. But nice to see they're all alive. Over here, bed of sweet potatoes. And something else. Right, and over here we have some beans. And I do believe this is a chili. Is this a chili? I think it's a chili plant. Yes, I think it is. And a bean plant behind it. Very cool. Over here the clivias are doing very well. And we also have another pepper plant there. It's alive. That's all I can say about it, really. And over here where we used to have a big compost heap, all of that has now been moved over to here. This ridge that I've set up over here with these logs. So this is just to stop some soil and flatten this area out so that this can trap water. I want this whole section here to trap water. Well, because we want that water to go down into the ground. And sure enough, there's some growth over here, which is going to be covering up all the dryness happening in this area when the rains come in. See, that's the idea, preparing your ground for when the rain arrives. Yeah, and it seems all my watering, well, not all my watering, I've been doing a little bit of watering, but it seems that has paid off over there. Very cool. And lastly, we have some bonsais that are looking absolutely fantastic. Nice and bushy. This is excellent. Probably gonna have to trim back some of this new growth, but that is exactly what we want. Fuck yes. Also, speaking of bonsais, these are trees that I'm going to be turning into bonsai trees at some point. This one especially, because it has a really cool stem. Curvy stem. Hell yeah, like I'm curvy. Right, moving on to the last spot here, which is actually the least news, I suppose. These pots, still doing quite well. I've had to clean up quite a few, scrap quite a few. Yeah, a fair few things died, but hey, I may have gotten an apple sapling out of this, so that's very cool. We have a potato plant, which I may need to water and bury a little bit. Over here we have black nightshade, which has somehow survived a whole load of shit, and I took some cuttings. Mulberry, very pleased to see. Hey, you get out of here, fucking little beetle shit. Those things can be annoying. They do a lot of damage. So over here, another mulberry. Very cool. Potato, looking fairly close to harvest, I would say. But this new growth over here makes me question. So I'm just going to wait until it dies back and then feel good about it. Get out of there, baby trees, you fucking stubborn little bastards. Right, over here we have another potato, so very cool. Also looking quite healthy, so not dying back yet, so we're not going to harvest. Gooseberry, and another black nightshade. Now there is a whole bunch of stuff that I'm growing behind the kitchen in this place, but we won't go there. So yeah, things are doing quite well. Things are doing quite well, I would have to say, and progressing at a decent pace. Obviously, there's some stuff we're going to have to look at. Oh, right. I have been propagating. This is what This is what I was talking about when it came to the inch plants or the wandering Jews. is you plant a couple of them and they kind of just spread out like this as a nice little cover crop. Because you want to cover the ground, guys. You want to cover the ground to prevent evaporation. It's a good trick to all this. So this is helping these guys out, and I'm going to try and cover this whole bed down this side with them. But this is a pretty good start, and these guys are looking quite healthy. So that's very cool. So yeah, there's slow progress happening here, and that is the whole point. Slow progress, you know? You can't fix all of this in a day. Let's just be honest. It would take excavators and a whole bunch of crazy shit. Anywho, now that update is sorted. Merry Christmas. Have a fantastic New Year. And keep your growing going, guys. Cheers.